So RiskAware, a company that's been around with us for about 5 years. They have a very known market niche. They're in the area where they help human resources, and you're going to get to hear that story how. Stephanie Hughes, who also teaches at NKU and maybe a few other places, is a serial entrepreneur. She probably won't tell you that, but she is. She loves to create things, and she's created a product and a company here that we're very excited to tell you about. These are proven tools that she's going to show you, proven tools in the HR process. As people continue to move around the United States and social media becomes more apparent in people's lives, they have tools that can help us check on those things from an HR perspective, and particularly in your hiring practices. This is a growth market. It's a market that's, going to continue to grow very nicely, for the next 3 to 5 years. And with that, I want to introduce you to Dr. Stephanie Hughes.
Okay. Thank you. Is this all? That's all? Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time today, and thank you to HCDC for this opportunity. I know there are lots of fantastic companies, and I'm learning a great deal about the wonderful things that HCDC is doing here in the community. I'm thrilled to be a part of it, so thank you. So who are we? Before I get started, let me just ask a quick question. How many of you, by a show of hands, I'm not going to ask how many of you have taken a shower, that one's already been covered, but how many of you have ever worked with someone who has misrepresented either their skill set, their experience, or possibly their educational credentials in any role that you may have been involved in? And it's okay, you can put them nice and high. In fact, it's actually much more common than you might imagine. So I'll cover a couple of the statistics around this issue, but it's actually a fairly common issue for most businesses. There's an estimated 27% of applicants misrepresent their educational credentials, which doesn't seem like a big deal, except when you think about the impact on businesses. Annually, U.S. businesses alone lose approximately $18.4 billion to employee fraud on an annual basis. 1 in 4 of your candidates comes with a criminal background. And the question of degree of criminal background is actually what we intend to try to uncover on behalf of companies. But here's probably the most startling statistic of all. An average $62,000 a year employee, if they're let go 2.5 years into their employment, has the potential to impact a company to the tune of approximately $800,000 in lost productivity, replacement cost, retraining, and ultimately trying to get them back up to speed. So it's a pretty significant issue for companies. And I'm here today representing RiskAware, and we provide solutions to try to mitigate some of those costs. We provide a full suite of background check services, and not all background checks are created equal. But what we bring to the table is a robust set of solutions, which includes traditional criminal checks, county courthouse checks, database checks, drug testing, educational, employment verification. We do international checks all over the world, and that's become increasingly more easy as other countries have gotten up to speed about the importance of doing checks themselves. And we have moved into the social media background check space, which is a huge opportunity. We were one of the first to get into this space nationally, and we've been doing it now for about 5 years and have a really robust process surrounding that. So that is definitely a sweet spot for us. And finally, we offer sort of a concept of, once you check them at the door, what do you do once the employees become a part of your organization? And we have a solution to address that. It's an anonymous incident reporting software system, which we've had now for about 7 years, and we continue to refine and further develop the capabilities. So what are our differentiators? Well, first of all, it's a huge industry. About 3,500 firms serve the industry overall, but a smaller number play in the space that we're in, which is the pre-employment space. So we're one of about 800 in that space. The industry is about a $2 billion a year business, and it is growing at a clip of 3.5% per year. We've exceeded that every year we've been in business, and last year alone we were up 32%. We're really proud of that. Why? Because, and everyone will say this, but in fact it is true for me, I have some of the greatest people that work for me and with me in this organization. Some of them, in fact, my former students at NKU, so it's a nice way to raise the metric on employment statistics, is just create your own company to employ your students. Really happy to provide that as an opportunity for folks in this region. And the other aspect of why we're growing so aggressively is we have a really strict 7-point quality review process that most other firms in this industry do not have, and we're really proud of it, and it's led to some of the lowest dispute resolution numbers in the industry, 0.5%, and high client retention, exceeding 95% for the entire length of time that we've been in business. Who do we serve? Well, we serve anyone who cares about mitigating risk at a high level in their industry. But our sweet spot started in higher ed, and we have moved into IT, financial services, insurance, and so on. And we would love the opportunity, if you reside in any of these spaces, to be able to serve you in the future. The team, once again, myself, you learned a little from Pat about my background. I'm former government intel, which is how I got into this space. I do a lot of research and writing on this topic. Just 3 weeks ago, I was interviewed by ESPN for an Outside the Lines piece on background checks and student athletes. I am a former college athlete and college coach, which is one of the reasons why I started this business. But my team is experienced business development and operations folks. All of our operations people are licensed private investigators, which no firm in our industry can reference. And why are we here? We're here because we would love to help you mitigate a bad hire for your organization. We're here asking for your business, and we are excited about being a part of this amazing ecosystem of companies. And we hope that if you have the opportunity during the next break, we're tucked over in the corner. Please stop by and pay us a visit. Thank you for your time.